Yeah.
Yerrrr.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Yerrrr Sports Show. I am your host, Big Baby, a.k.a. Dre Dollars, a.k.a. the soul of R&B. How's everybody doing? Everybody's here. Everybody's great. Everybody's looking good. Peter with no swoop still. We still got a problem with that, but it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Trying to live like Frank Lucas' niece up there.
That's 25,000 alpaca. You block that shit.
To my bottom left, we have BK Matt.
Yerrrr. What's
You
going
don't
on, y'all?
have no special name this week?
Throwing up gang signs
Nah.
on you. I just saw a gang
No.
sign.
I put a BK Brooklyn.
No.
You know, BK.
Oh, what
There's
do we
only,
do?
there's only one gang. There's only
I
one
could,
gang to worry about.
Can we not? No, can we not?
Ooh,
Thank you. No gang signs over here.
It's a.
I saw what
You
you
know
did. I saw what you did.
Ooh, yeah. I threw that in all my pictures. Woo. What's up from the floor?
Oh, and then he goes, whoa.
And then he said from the floors. Look
I'm
at
from the
him.
floors. What you want me to do?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the 80s. Feel me?
To my bottom right, we have the voice of a generation. The best voice machine.
Keep
My God. Rosado.
Oh,
How you
man.
doing, sir? How you doing?
doing
sir?
well. Enjoying a beautiful Saturday. We're not gonna have too many of them left with the fall and winter soon to be approaching.
Can't
So
wait.
enjoy them.
Can't wait.
Enjoy them while you can. Enjoy them while you can. And I'm also super happy because I went to the supermarket yesterday, and it is now my favorite season. It is Malamar season. Malamars are back on the shelves, and I am happy. They only are out during the fall and winter, so I bought like 85,000 boxes yesterday.
I see you trying to gain that weight back, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's hibernation season.
Fuck that. I'm not trying to hibernate nothing. This is when I'm going to grind the most during this season.
Nah, listen, I'm gonna lose that weight gearing up for December. So I have a little information to drop for y'all before the end of the show.
Cool. Perfect.
Is that what we was talking about yesterday?
Quite possibly.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear.
And last but not least, the queen, the head of the Yerrrr Sports Show table, the current reigning, defending, undisputed, pick 5 champion. Again, the queen,
It's a whole nother season.
Queen
Good
Tay.
Here.
Frank Lucas' niece, a.k.a. my man.
7K Tay. I'm sorry, 25K Tay. We had to up it a little bit. What's going on, Queen?
Not much. I'm here. Let's get it going.
Feeling
How
good?
Frank
feeling
Lucas
great?
doing?
I'm feeling all right. I'm here. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Still
Wu-Tang
living the
shirt?
life of luxury.
Wu-Tang. They used to call me that when I was a kid. My nickname was Wu-Tang.
Why?
Probably because you're the same height as RZA.
You see?
Remember what you said? You remember what you said in the chat? Cool.
What?
I have nothing. I have nothing to say about what happens during the rest
That
of the show.
wasn't even nothing
I have
bad.
nothing to say about whatever happens
Why
during the
gotta
rest
be
of the
about
show.
my height? Like, you just jealous.
You're blessed. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you jealous.
I really am. I wish I did have your height.
Jealous.
Really wish I had your height.
Listen, you got a new movie. You might have a sequel movie coming out, so you shouldn't be complaining.
Oh.
Here we go. Okay, LaBamba. You really going there? Okay.
La 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 bamba. La 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 bamba. Right?
Damn, Pete. Damn, man.
You know he was Selena's godfather in the show.
By God.
Jesus.
Yo, I can't watch that movie without crying.
Now, I'm talking about the show. She has an actual show on
That
Netflix.
shit was terrible.
I didn't watch it at all.
The wigs were horrible.
Why do women look at the hair? Everything that, like,
I'm not gonna lie.
oh my
I'm not gonna
god!
lie. I look at women's hair too, because that's important.
Yeah, everybody's hair was terrible in
My
that
mother-
show. It's like it shows you budget.
My mother's a
Horrible.
beautician, so the first thing I look at when I'm looking at a woman is her hair.
Why is this the first time I'm hearing that your mother's a beautician? I would have been giving her thousands of dollars of business. Like,
I've told y'all.
No, not me. You must have told them.
Okay, well, I'll give you more information. I'll give you more information after the show. Because she do. Shout outs to my mother, Lynetta Hart. I love you.
Shout out to Mama Dre.
Yes, and my aunt Tammy. She has a food truck in Harlem Seafood Soul.
Oh, hold up. Wait, say
on 125th and Adam Clayton. Yeah.
Yo, I'm in there. There.
I'm just trying to understand why we don't get plates when we go to the studio. I was trying to figure out.
Well, we ain't been in the studio.
We ain't been in the studio because none of us are never home during Saturday. We all
and I ain't get vaccinated yet. You know, that's probably another thing. I ain't get it yet. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
You and Nicki Minaj friends over here, man?
I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all. Huh?
Are you one of these?
Why are you not vaccinated?
Why am I not vaccinated? Because I haven't done all my research on it. I'm sorry. Look, it took me getting that hospital gig to even do the flu shot. I get worried about certain things.
You know, it's very irresponsible.
It is. It's 100%. That's what I said. I'm not against it. I've never said that I'm not against it.
I'm not the police or anything like that. Like, I'm not the proper police, but like, what we don't know about the vaccine, we do know about COVID. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, we had to be vaccinated. They pumped all kinds of stuff into our bodies through. We had to be vaccinated to go through school. And if we want a better chance, you have children at home. And now COVID is impacting that population.
Well aware. Just went through the scare last week.
You guys have to be very, very, very careful. Because the misinformation about the vaccine, I've been vaccinated. Everybody knows that I was a high risk due to my cancer battle. You get what I'm saying? As bad as the side effects of the vaccine is better than COVID would have felt.
Yep.
So I gotta please get vaccinated.
You know, and a lot of the people, you know, who were talking about how, and you know, Tay talking about the misinformation. People were talking about, how the vaccine came about so quickly. It came up out of nowhere. All of a sudden, they had a vaccine.
The coronavirus is not new.
Right. A lot of people got to remember, if y'all old enough to remember the SARS outbreak from years ago, that's literally where COVID-19 comes from. It is the 19th strain of a SARS-CoV, the 19th mutation of SARS-CoV, right? So it's, you know, and that's why you have variations of the mutation. There's different words, there's different things out there. And people really got to understand that. I'm not talking to Matt on that one, but I'm just talking about other people in general. But speaking of that, that brings me to something really funny I read. Did you know that there are unvaccinated people nowadays who are saying that it is a slur to call them unvaccinated? They want to be referred to as, get this, pure blood. Pure blood.
You know what this sounds like? You know what? No, I'm not even going to go there.
Let it go. Let that go.
Woo!
Let that go.
Man.
Alexa, play Let It Go by Keisha Cole.
Right. Oh,
I wouldn't even do that to myself.
Oh, man. Jesus. So
I read that and I was just like, what Twilight Zone episode have we walked into?
That's definitely Harry Potter. You a muggle.
This is exactly what I figured would happen during a global pandemic. This is really on brand for Earth. It's very ghetto here. I do not recommend.
I'm and yo,
people be wondering why all those zombie apocalypse movies or global pandemic movies or whatever, the United States is always the first one to go. Because the
arrogance. Because the arrogance of this country is paramount, and there's no disputing that. But you know what? We could sit here and spar about vaccines and why men over 30 shouldn't have braids. But let's
But you know who's not sparring? Evander Holyfield's not sparring anymore.
He shouldn't be. He shouldn't have sparred in the first place.
He should just lay down and before he got laid down.
I felt let me say something. This whole thing with Trilla is a very, I mean, it could be if you look at it as entertainment, it could be entertainment. But to call it boxing and call it the prestige of boxing, it's two different things, man. And I feel like this is killing the sport of boxing. It's making people feel like anybody could still get in the ring, and it doesn't No, Evander Holyfield should not be fighting anybody in 2020.
Especially on a week's notice. And he had a week's notice. It's like,
No,
how you
even
think
if
you
he had
get in the ring on a week's notice?
Even if he had a year's notice, Evander Holyfield is like 100 years old in boxing years. I'm just being
Absolutely.
honest with you.
Absolutely.
No disrespect. All disrespect.
I saw a better-
Oh, yes, all disrespect. Yes.
I saw a better exhibition fight in Rocky Balboa when Rocky came back in the end of that movie. What, Rocky 6, I think it was, in that was a better exhibition fight than what we've been seeing on this Triller stuff.
How much I love the Rocky movies. They're one of my favorite movie series. Rocky 4 is like one of my favorite movies of all time. I know it's terrible.
Oh.
But I
count Rocky. Do you count? Yeah. Do you count the Tommy movie?
No.
No.
I didn't really like that one. I like 1 through 4. I don't really count 5. I like the one
Who does?
when he had
Balboa.
I like Balboa, and I like the 2 Creeds.
I thought the 2 Creeds were really, really good, and I like the way that they really carried in the mythos from the original Rocky movies into it without making it feel burdened by the Rocky movies. It was its own movie, really kind of bouncing off that already beautifully set story.
Let me tell you something. I love, those are my, with Rocky, The Godfather, Wiz, Goodfellas.
Oh, I love the Wiz.
Wiz is great. Nobody beats the Wiz.
And Lady Sings the Blues. I love those Diana Ross movies from the 70s. So shout outs to Rocky.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Pete, it's been a long time since you about to hear this music.
I ain't forget you.
Left you.
I gotta go beat the step 2.
All right. Let's get into the first quick hits. Well, in a while. I was about to say the new year, but no. First quick hits in a while. Ready?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Quick Hits is sponsored by.
ladies.
I'm sorry, Pete. Quick Hits is sponsored by Queen Tay. We forgot. I forgot to put that there. But Quick Hits is sponsored by Queen Tay.
Welcome back to Quick Hits.
Queen 25 KT. This will not be the last time you see anything sponsored or anything with Queen Tay's face on it today.
Okay, Regina Lucas.
Regina Lucas. Go ahead, Pete.
Terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Quick Hit, sponsored by Queen Tay. And let's just say, we don't have much here there, but we want to go over the U.S. Open. Novak Djokovic was unable to complete a full year slam, meaning he was unable to win all 4 slams in 1 year, as he was stopped in the men's U.S. Open final against Medvedev in straight sets. But the big story out of the U.S. Open is Emma Raducanu. At 18 years, 302 days old, won the U.S. Open after a magical run to the 4th round in Wimbledon. The British teen earned her place in the U.S. Open main draw. She was not in the main draw, ladies and gentlemen. She had to go through qualifying rounds just to make it to the main stage of the U.S. Open and then go through the entire U.S. Open field and then go into the finals where she won the U.S. Open. She becomes the 4th youngest U.S. Open winner in history, and she won the tournament in straight sets. She also became the first ever qualifier, man or woman, to win a Grand Slam tennis championship, and it was only her 2nd ever slam appearance in the main draw.
That's super dope of her. Like, I think tennis and golf are the only sports to where you can have people who are like fresh out of high school, and baseball too, fresh out of high school, and just boom, amazing. Like, do y'all know J.R. Smith plays golf now?
College golf, right? NCAA.
College golf.
Yes.
NCAA golf.
Yes. Shout out to J.R. Smith.
He ain't gonna be allowed to take his shirt off there.
Education.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. And, that has to be something that's very interesting because for a lot of people, I remember forgetting his name. He used to play for the Charlotte New Orleans Hornets back in the day. David Wesley, big ears.
Yes.
Yeah, spoke about going back to college, especially he went back to his alma mater for college after an NBA career. And he said it was one of the most humbling things in the world. It's very hard for them to do because you walk on that campus and you're looked at as a god, and now you're just like a regular person. And for them, that can be very hard for some of them. I don't know if people heard this. The statement from Steve Ballmer said it is time for the Clippers to forge their own identity with their own arena so that they no longer have to be shadowed by the legacy.
Man, shut up. I don't want to hear nothing that they got to say. Please. Win a playoff series.
Well, I mean, we would be remiss to not mention that today is the anniversary that the Clippers blowing the 3-1 lead.
Today?
Yes, it is. Stan put it up today.
Win a playoff series and create your own identity then.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the bubble.
Yeah, because of the bubble. I'm looking like it's September. Like,
it's the anniversary. Stan put it up today. Yeah.
Happy anniversary to the opening night champs of the NBA.
They're like the NBA's version of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
How about them Clippers?
How about the Clippers? Yeah, they are. They are. Period.
Except they're not really worth that much.
I'm talking about brand wise. Like they think that they're sitting there really narcissistic of them to say they need to forge their own identity. Win a playoff series.
That matters. That matters. Say that.
Matters.
What a playoff series. Yeah, that matters.
Stop blowing 3-1 leads.
Jeez.
It wasn't Doc Rivers' fault this time.
No.
It was.
Exonerate him from that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Even though
that 3-1 lead is not all Doc Rivers' fault, but he plays a part in that.
Aaron Gordon and the Nuggets.
He was gonna Aaron Rodgers, baby.
Oh yeah, that story's coming up. Oh, that story's coming up.
Aaron Gordon and the Denver Nuggets agreed to a $92 million extension.
Why?
Just this week.
Because NBA money is long. That $92 million is not going to be worth a damn in a year or two.
Don't say that. Because $84 million was worth something, and Dennis Schroeder turned it down.
Knicks fans have a reason to celebrate. Knicks fans have a reason to celebrate. They no longer have to go through watching Frank Ntilikina in a Knicks uniform, as Frank Ntilikina has signed with the Dallas Mavericks. The last holdover from the Phil Jackson era. His first-round pick, Frank Ntilikina, signed with the Dallas Mavericks. And remember that the Knicks picked him. The Knicks picked him over Dennis Smith Jr., who is still with the Dallas Mavericks.
Dennis Smith Jr. was also on the Knicks.
This is true.
Garbage.
I don't even know why we're talking about that.
The Houston Rockets
was a bum. He's a bum.
The Houston Rockets and John Wall are testing the waters of trying to find a trade deal. We used to think John Wall's contract was untradeable, and it may get traded for the second time in a year.
Russell Westbrook has the most tradable contract of all time, bro.
John Wall is due $91.7 million over the next 2 seasons, including a player option for $47.4 million in 2022-2023. The Rockets do not want to give up first-round draft compensation to get rid of Wall, and have no interest in discussing a buyout until possibly after free agency next year. But they are committed to moving forward with Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green as its starting backcourt in Houston.
Cool.
They're rebuilding.
Last story before we get to really the big news leading us into the day. The Milwaukee Bucks actually made a little bit of history this week. The Milwaukee Bucks have named Lisa Byington the team's new television play-by-play announcer on Bally Sports Wisconsin making her the first ever woman to handle full-time TV play-by-play duties for a major men's professional sports team.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Lisa Byington. And now let's go into a story that unfortunately is still in the mainstream news. It's still not truly over, a tragedy that is still not truly dealt with. This week, the Senate Judiciary Committee convened to go over the FBI's mishandling. Yes, that's right. The FBI's mishandling of the Larry Nasar case. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Larry Nasar case, this is the gentleman who sexually abused and tortured women from the gymnastics team, young girls and women from the United States gymnastics team over years, including United States gold medal winners Simone Biles, Kayla Maroney, Allie Raceman, and Maggie Nichols. And all four of them actually testified.
Over 200 gymnasts.
And he was not the only one. We are not going to sit here and fail to recognize all the people who had heard the reports, knew what was going on as his superiors, and continued to let it happen. And those people who worked alongside him, who continued to send girls to Larry Nasar to continue this abuse of these women. But U.S. gymnasts Simone Biles, Kayla Maroney, Maggie Nichols, and Allie Raceman all testified to the Senate Judiciary Committee this past Wednesday. Their testimonies are online if anyone is interested in actually reading those testimonies. Their full testimonies are online. But I do want to take this one quote from the head of the Justice Department Inspector General, Michael Horowitz, who had a statement that day as well. Our reports indicates the response of FBI agents who received that information betrayed their law enforcement responsibilities and their duties to these victims. Absolutely. As our report further details, Larry Nassar's abuses could very well and should have been stopped sooner if appropriate action had been taken by the FBI in response to the courageous actions of these athletes. Not only did that not occur, but after the FBI agents' inadequate and incompetent response came to light, FBI records were created that falsely summarized the testimony of an athlete who had spent hours detailing the abuses she endured and inaccurately described the FBI's handling of the matter. Further, when called to account for their actions, 2 of the FBI agents lied to our investigators.
Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And as we go into actually first, Pete, thank you for quick hits for the week of September 17th, 18th.
Yes.
And let's go into today's topics because that's the first thing we're going to start out with. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let's go into it. As we just stated, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the last topic in quick hits. So, Queen Tay, what are your thoughts on people just dropping the ball on this?
Well, it's more than dropping the ball. This is egregious and disgusting, and I feel as if these women have been failed at every step of the way. For decades, this man has been abusing women, abusing his power. And people, even from the highest extent of the law, have allowed him to get away with it. And I feel as if even right now can't, bring back that innocence. You get what I'm saying? Like the things that these women had to endure, trusting a doctor who took advantage of them. I think that's disgusting. And I think that he deserves to be castrated, duct taped, and fried. Period.
How long is he in there for? 175 years?
And that's not enough.
Yeah, no, he got to go.
I don't think he's living that long.
I have a daughter who is of that age range, and my heart breaks because there'd be no justice in the world for me. You get what I'm saying? And I think it's disgusting. And shame on all people who protected this man for years and decades. Shame on all the media that knew about this, the governmental agencies that knew about this. You know, the thing is, allegations it's a difference. It's a difference. And I would never be a rape apologist for nothing. Period.
No one should. Matt,
I just my heart breaks for the just to even hear their testimonies on how this whole situation was handled, the neglect that they must have felt, the like what on earth was more important than protecting them. You know, like they represent our country in every shape and fashion, and you just fed them to the wolves. There's no excuse for that. There's nothing that they can really do to these people that can even equate, you know, the what they did for that. Like it's just disgusting. The whole thing is just disgusting. Like to allow this man to get away with this for decades. It's been like over what, 20 years, 25 years that he's been doing this. And over what you said, 250 women that he's done this to?
At minimum, 265 girls from the ages of 13 to 16.
What was so like? There's literally you can't even answer that question. What was so important that y'all neglected that?
Nothing.
And to be honest with you, there have been complaints of him lodged since the early 1990s.
Exactly.
And they didn't take it seriously until 6 years ago.
And it wasn't just him. He wasn't the only one. He's the main one, you know, responsible for this. But there's so many other, you know, people to blame for this, like the FBI that knew about all of this and they just let it go to the wayside. It's just, again, it makes you look at our system and think like, do we really matter? Do our well-being and our safety really matter to these people?
No.
That's disgusting. It's 100% disgusting.
No.
Absolutely. Pete.
I mean, listen, nothing more can be said than what Tay and Matt have already said. The man does not, I hate to say it, the man does not deserve to still be living. I'm sorry. You know, believe what you want to believe. About, you know, have your own personal beliefs about the death. How this person can still be given the decency to still be alive. Why taxpayer dollars are still being spent to keep this person alive. And again, have your own personal beliefs, and it is what it is. And I don't, you know, I believe that there are certain crimes that I'm just sorry. You've given up your right to still be alive and still be walking.
Pete, yeah.
Yeah,
Hello?
I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Okay.
Yeah. There's certain things where it's just like you give up that right, and this is one of them.
Absolutely. And there's nothing nobody can explain or give a solid answer to this. But what is these obsession with these men with younger women? What is these obsession with men taking advantage of women in general, or taking advantage of people in general? First, again, not to take eyes off this, there are men out here telling other women what they can do with their bodies in terms of abortion and everything else like that. There's men out here saying it's okay to take advantage of women because they are men.
Young women. And young women, too.
Young women.
And even because, you know, this apologist culture that we've lived in for so many decades, I think it's disgusting. You know, me and my friends talk about this all the time. When we were like teenagers, it wasn't the boys in our class that were, you know, chasing us down and hounding us down. It was them old ass construction workers, them older dudes, you know, guys were like 23 dating 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds. That type of culture is disgusting. You get what I'm saying? And like you said, Dre, men should not have any say on what a woman has to do with her body. And I feel like even other women, you're not advocating for each other. Just because something doesn't work for you doesn't mean it may or may not work for me. How I live my life is that, all right, if I don't, my thing is, why do I care? It's not my body. I'm going to protect your right to choose, regardless of if you choose whatever side of the coin. You get what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's not my place, even as a fellow woman, to make, to think of rules that are not, taking another woman's body into consideration. And the thing is, what kills me is that people care so much about life at conception, but don't give not one hot damn about these kids who are walking around in the foster care system, these kids who are failing in the educational system, these kids who are raised by women who didn't want to be mothers. You get what I'm saying? And the thing is that and men are bearing no responsibility for the fact that if they don't want children with women, you can get a vasectomy. There's things that why is things with birth control? Why do men have things to say about women and birth control, but nothing about what a man can bring to the table for that? I think it's ridiculous, and I think it's sad. And this overwhelming culture of taking advantage of women from different points, so many different points of life being violated. We're being violated from birth, from conception through death. Period. Throw Absolutely. The whole earth in the garbage.
Throw it all away. Start over.
Yeah.
Lord, we need the rapture one more time.
Jesus, send the rapture.
Send the rapture. So
hey, and I think one thing that I think we've all kind of like slightly touched on. It's like I think on top of everything that disgusts me about this, it's the abuse of power. Right? These young girls came to this man or were sent to this man under the auspices of this man is going to take care of me. This man is going to help me with my health. Is going to help me recover from injuries. Is going to help me do these things. They went to this person and gave this person their utmost trust and literally gave them, themselves in order to be made healthy again. Not for this to happen to them. They went there with this conception of this is a doctor, right? This is a doctor. This is someone that's going to heal me. This is someone that's going to make me be able to do the things I want to do to follow my dreams in life. And to go into those situations and be so utterly abused and destroyed the way these women are. And I got to give a lot of respect to every single one of the women who have come forward. Every single one of the women who have come forward, whether it be physically or have written a statement or have spoken out in their own way, whether it be for the Larry Nasar case or any other situation. Like, that is your power. Speak out on these issues. Speak out on what's going on and make sure that your voice is heard. Make sure your voice is heard one way or another and make sure that these stories get out, because that is strength and that is the power and that is the light that these men and these abusers, whether they be men or women, okay, or otherwise gendered, that is the light that they try to shy away from, that you're not going to say anything, that you won't speak up, that you'll keep it to yourself and that you'll hide that trauma. And listen, whether it's right after it happened, a month later, a year later, 5 years later, 10 years later, when you are able to speak on that, if you are ever able to, that is your strength. Speak on it and speak your truth and make that darkness that they reside in a very hard place for them to hide.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. Now to a lighter note. Pick five. It was a pretty rough week. A lot of
Best
things
issue
happened
for the Packers.
We'll get into that right after pick five. So, ladies and gentlemen, the brand new pick five.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I told y'all I was going to have something this week. I'm a man of my word. Matt, I know, I'm sorry, but this show is going to go on for a while. So maybe if you win this year, your face will be on the wall. There's no championship belt. There's no trophy to put. So this is it.
You gotta do better.
Oh, now I gotta do better. Next time I'm gonna make you make it, like I said last week. So, Pete, please tell us what the scores were of last week.
Well, it is very close. Tay and Dre
It's the first week.
Right. It's very close, ladies and gentlemen. Tay and Dre are tied in first at 3-2. 3-2. And myself and Matt are 2 and 3. I will say the deciding pick for Dre and Tay was Dre picking the Saints and Tay picking the Steelers.
Yeah.
If Tay had not picked the Steelers, Tay would have been 2 and 3 with myself and Matt being 3 and 2.
Why you said if Dre didn't pick something? Why you had to go?
I did. I started with Dre. If
Dre
didn't pick the Saints,
okay, he would have been 2 and 3 too. How about that?
But that is what it's looking like. And I gotta say, up until 2 of those games, we all got destroyed by the Texans. We all got destroyed.
I was going to accuse the Texans, and then they were like, "Oh, you sound crazy for choosing the Texans."
We didn't do none of that sort.
No, we didn't do none of that. You didn't do none of that.
Just said Deshaun Watson ain't playing.
Deshaun Watson was not playing. You said, "Why I'm
not picking him? If
right, I'm not picking him."
Well, listen, I think that game showed us one very true statement.
Y'all shouldn't have let me choose.
Nothing gonna beat Tyrod Taylor outside of a misplaced needle in the ribs.
Yikes, Peter. Yikes.
You know, but
that was cringeworthy.
That was
very cringeworthy.
That's what knocked Tyrod out last year.
Oh, we know.
Jeez.
We know. I'm sure Tyrod don't want to think about that.
But I think we were all surprised by how much firepower the Texans had. Obviously, that last-minute victory by the Steelers over the Bills. The Bills were well in charge of that game up until the very end. A lot like the Giants were against Washington, but we were talking about that.
You guys have not won a Super Bowl in about 50 years. Simmer down.
Ooh, okay.
Simmer down.
We feeling spicy. Do not make me come for your head.
Don't worry about it. We will have a Jets and Giants report really shortly.
I do have something I do want to ask Tay. I want to ask Tay because I was listening. I forget who it was. I think it was somebody on ESPN radio. Was talking about.
Ask me.
No, it was talking about Saquon Barkley's performance on Thursday.
Okay.
And they compared Saquon to Barry Sanders.
Okay.
In the sense that both of them are overhyped in the fact that they are not very
Get
good.
off my damn
Hold on, listen. I want to ask you an opinion. What they said was that they said that both Saquon Barkley and Barry Sanders are alike because they're both overhyped in the fact that as down-to-down rushers, they're not good, but they always break off one big run, 2 big runs that make their numbers seem good. Your thoughts on that, Tay?
I'm sorry, Pete. Tavius, Matt says it's not Tavius T time.
What kind of?
On my screen, it looks like
Tavius. This is the pick 5.
Get him off my
change it. Don't do that.
Yeah, do that because I want to know when was the last time the Jets had a successful running back to.
But he asked you a question.
No, and I'm answering his question.
Matt Forte, David Tomlinson, Curtis Martin.
I would ask you a question.
Yes.
When was the last time you ran a yard?
Yesterday.
So then don't talk anything about Saquon Barkley.
Yesterday.
You ran a yard? I don't believe you.
I ran a yard.
Yeah, all right.
A yard?
When you can run yards like Saquon Barkley, then you can ask my damn opinion about anything.
So
I mean, he really did. He had one good run that whole game.
At the end of
one good run.
Saquon, first of all, let me tell you something. Now you guys are trying to be like super haters. That's number one. Because
I didn't even say nothing.
Yeah, because you keep chiming in on commentary like I didn't ask you anything.
I didn't even say anything.
Quiet. Put yourself on mute then. If
14
you're not
yards on 13
carries. At the end of the day, Saquon played injured. That's number one. And number two, when anything on the Jets can simulate anything that the Giants have done, then you could come to the throne.
We go 0-2 all the time.
When you come at the throne, make sure you have good bullets, okay?
I did.
When you
We
come
go
for the
0-2
queen,
all
when
the
you come
time.
for the queen, you best not miss.
Hold on.
You
You said
missed.
when the Jets can simulate
Bye.
anything the Giants
Bye.
do, we go
Bye.
0-2 all the time,
Bye.
which y'all have done the last 2 years.
Yeah, but we're not gonna go 2 for 16.
Y'all might this year.
No, y'all definitely this year. How many? There's 17 games
Yep.
in the season. The Jets are gonna go 3 for 17. The most.
That might not be a bad record for us this year.
Yeah,
Hey,
you might
Rudy,
get
you
that.
3 and
imagine-
14. 3 and
Y'all,
14.
y'all,
would not
y'all
be a
like
bad
being
record.
it. Y'all like drafting people, huh? y'all just like being in the
Listen,
first round.
listen. How
And
many?
then
How
drafting them
many
and
years
not doing
has that?
anything with them. But
How
it's
many
sitting
years
there
has
dumb
Dave
on the
Gettleman?
sideline.
How
Like,
many years has Dave Gettleman said he gonna fix that offensive line? Ain't done nothing.
Garbage.
Let me tell you something.
Poor Eli.
Let me tell you something.
Poor Eli with his 2 Super Bowls. Oh man,
I
poor
know,
him.
right?
Poor him.
The last guy who won a Super Bowl for y'all doing AARP commercials on News 12. Okay?
I don't even have News 12.
That was the last person who won a Super Bowl for y'all. They're talking to our parents on News 12 now.
Yep.
Okay?
The legend,
Okay?
the Hall of Famer.
You wasn't even a twinkle in your daddy's eye the last time the Jets won a Super Bowl.
You right?
My daughter was alive for both
When David
Super Bowls.
Tyree
My
won
baby
that
is
Super Bowl
13.
for y'all.
But we still won a Super Bowl. I don't care.
Thank you, David Tyree, who was in the
Ronald
Giants uniform.
McDonald could have
Appreciate
won
it.
that Super Bowl for us, but you know what team he would have won it under? The New York Giants.
And Mario Manningham, who
Thank
won that
you.
other one.
At least we don't have butt fumbles.
Let's not talk about the fact that the only reason the Giants
Y'all
won that
hating.
second Super Bowl is
Y'all
because
hating. Y'all hating.
Welker fumbled that pass.
Still won it.
Hey,
Still won
he
it.
should have caught it with his helmet too.
Yeah, because the
He should have caught it with
Patriots,
his helmet too.
the Patriots was trying to play with murderers on their damn
Low blow.
Super Bowl
You gotta
lineup.
relax. You gotta relax.
No, we don't. No, we
No,
don't.
we don't.
No, we don't.
That is a sore
No, we
subject.
don't. Well, since we want to talk about the
They wanted
Jets,
to sit there, they had straight
We
murderers.
ain't even finished the pick 5.
that's what we talk. That's what we getting into right now. We already did our
Go back
Giants.
to the Queen, Pete.
We already had
Go
our
back to
Giants
the
and Jets
Queen.
report, and
Let me
the
tell you
news.
something. The Jets, no Jets fans better ever come to me about anything about a team.
Because you're just gonna bring up the 2 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, because I have
Okay.
2 Super Bowls to bring up. My dad was in junior high school when the Jets won a damn Super Bowl last time.
The Giants have had a winning season.
Here we go.
More recently than the Jets have.
And they've also had Marv Albert in the dress.
Y'all talk about Marv Albert. Let me tell you something. That don't hurt me. That don't hurt me. That don't hurt me.
We straight. But getting to the pick 5, Patriots, Jets. I'm going with the Patriots.
I'm going with the Patriots. Pick y'all Jets.
No, I'm picking the Patriots.
No, pick your Jets.
No,
Y'all so comfortable.
So much.
Pick the Jets.
Hold on.
Pick
There is
them.
a difference.
First of all,
There is a-
there was times that the Giants was in the pick 5 and y'all didn't pick them, so I don't want to hear that crap.
Only,
Try to
no,
peer
only,
pressure
let me tell you
nobody.
There's only
something.
one time.
There is a
Hey,
difference.
y'all
There was
didn't
only
pick 'em.
one time. There was
But
only
y'all
one
didn't
time I
pick
didn't
'em.
pick the Giants, and they
All
won.
right then. So don't try to peer
There was
pressure
only one
nobody.
time I didn't pick them, and they won. And they were close to that wild card, baby. I don't know the Jets and wild card. They don't seem
Close
like
to the
they
wild
match.
card, but
They
yeah, still
in-
didn't
there
make
is
the
a
playoffs.
difference. There is a
And you
difference.
know, whoa. You talking about we didn't make the playoffs? Y'all saw the shenanigans in the last game of the season. Don't even do
I'm
that.
sorry, but did y'all
Don't even
make
do
it?
that.
There
Did
is
y'all
a
make the
difference.
playoffs?
Don't do that.
Regardless, y'all
Pick
didn't
the
make it,
Jets,
so let it
y'all.
go.
Keep that energy.
Let that
Pick
hurt
the
go.
Hold
Jets,
up.
baby.
Let
There
that,
is
y'all
a
didn't pick the
difference.
Giants. We
Pick
keeping the same energy.
Pick
We
them.
keeping it. No,
Pick them.
Pete, I'm picking the Patriots. Put it
Pick
down,
them.
please.
You
Thank
see?
you.
Hypocrites.
I like that, Joe.
Are you picking the Patriots too, Pete?
I am.
So Patriots all around for the Jets fans?
And again, here's why. Here is why.
All right,
There
y'all
is
better
a
pick the
difference.
Giants
There is-
every
There is
week
a
that they're
difference.
in.
We beat
There is-
the
Y'all better pick the
Patriots.
Giants every
There is
week
a
that
difference.
they're in.
In the Super Bowl because
There
we beat
is a
them in the
difference
Super Bowl, and y'all can't beat
blind
the Patriots.
fandom.
Y'all can't beat the Patriots to save y'all
It's
life.
not about that. It's not about
It
beating
is
the
So
Patriots.
what's about? So
Okay.
what's about?
There is a difference between blind fandom and using statistics to make an informed decision. And
You
the
sound
fact
like
of the
a
matter
goddamn fool.
Bill
Next
Belichick.
game. You sound
Bill
like a damn
Belichick
fool.
is undefeated against rookie quarterbacks. So even though both teams are starting rookie quarterbacks in Mac Jones and Wilson and Zach Wilson, I have to go with Bill Belichick's experience on being able to craft defenses that rookie quarterbacks cannot beat. I am taking
Kind of like a whole lot of nothing to me. Nobody don't want to hear that. Next game, please. I want to hear that. Next. Talking for no reason.
Y'all better pick the Giants every week that they in this.
Y'all didn't. Y'all didn't.
They'll be in the pick five. They'll be in the pick five next week.
Y'all didn't.
We're gonna pick them.
And that was the first
I
one.
bet.
To say,
Who y'all playing next week?
I'll
when
see.
the Giants was messing
I'll
up,
see.
when the Giants were messing up on Thursday, who was in our dead chat because Pete only want to peep his little head in to be nosy. But who was the first person who said, "Oh, the Giants are playing like they want to lose this game"? It was me.
We're not saying that. We're not saying nothing about that. Y'all went against the Giants because y'all know they weren't going to win. So I mean, it's not.
Thursday,
It's not.
I thought they were gonna win on Thursday.
No, I'm talking about in the pick five.
The only time I didn't go.
Y'all can't pressure us to pick the Jets because we fans of them.
But guess what you didn't do? Guess what you didn't do?
You can be a fan of your team and know they're not going to win.
Exactly.
But then why talk about my team?
Because you'll talk about ours.
No.
We didn't say nothing about the Jets this week. We didn't say nothing about the Jets this week.
Hold up.
We didn't say nothing about the Jets last week either.
Overrated. I don't know how many Hall of Fame caliber running backs the Jets have or had on their roster in the past 5 years. But you know what? Go off, sis.
Wait, you think Saquon Barkley's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah. Future.
Oh my God. No.
Future.
So,
if what's his name? If not Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott is you're gonna come at me about Saquon Barkley.
Zeke's a bum too.
Elliott can't do anything.
Zeke's a bum too.
Can't do that to me.
He said that last week.
I was in a good mood today, and you're gonna take advantage.
Dak deserved the money, not Zeke, but Zeke got the money that Dak should have gotten. I've always said Zeke a bum.
I wouldn't go that far.
If you're looking at Ezekiel Elliott as a future Hall of Famer,
I know.
They keep saying that. No, but the experts who get paid millions of dollars do for some reason. If Ezekiel Elliott goes into the Hall of Fame, Saquon Barkley ass better be going into the Hall of Fame too. Period.
Raiders versus Steelers.
My throat is sore because I'm screaming at y'all.
That was a good game on Monday, though.
It was a really good game on Monday.
That was a really
Raiders should have won that 5 minutes earlier.
But damn.
It's tough.
Man.
You know, I think John. I hate to say it, but John Gruden, he's got some magic in the water with them Raiders.
But they always look good at the beginning, and then they just bottom out.
Who's home?
The Steelers.
I'm going with the
That's
Steelers.
right. It's a short week. I'm taking the Steelers.
I'm taking the Steelers.
I'm taking the Steelers as well. Yeah, that was man.
But they got to go cross country. I forgot about that. Raiders going cross country.
Yeah. So Steelers all around, right?
Yeah.
All right. Texans, Browns.
The Browns are looking pretty good last week too. I have to say.
Yep.
The Browns
without Odell.
The Browns are looking
better without Odell.
I mean, everybody looked better without Odell.
You gotta stop. Y'all gotta.
The Browns look better without Odell Beckham.
The Giants look better without Odell.
Yeah, less distraction. But I didn't pick the Texans last week, but I'm still not going to pick them. So I'm going to pick the Browns as well.
As am I. I think Cleveland's on to something. I think they're a playoff team this year, and I think they can be dangerous if they stay healthy.
I got the Browns on this one.
Yep.
I like what I saw last week. I'm not even going to front. I like what I saw last week. I mean, even though, I'm not a fan of Baker Mayfield at all.
You know what's funny?
He didn't have the greatest game.
This is the second time the Browns have had the Chiefs on the ropes. And the last time the Chiefs were injured. This year, everybody's fully healthy.
The Browns.
They had them on their toes.
Yeah.
They had them on their toes last
week. They was beating their ass in the beginning.
That's what I said. They had them on the ropes, for sure.
The Browns are stacked. The Browns are stacked offensively. If Baker actually could show out, The Browns are really hard to stop offensively. It's just the problem is Baker doesn't really give you the type of statistical games that you're like, yo, they're going to be dangerous week to week. And that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, I think he has that one of those games this week, though, for sure. So everybody's picking the Browns? All right, these records going to look real similar this week. All right.
Who's next?
The next game is Titans versus Seahawks.
Seahawks.
I'm picking the Titans.
I'm picking the Seahawks. You know how I feel about Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks as well. I think they're a better team. I think Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill, and I'm very interested to see how the comment that Mike Vrabel made, I believe it was to Julio, is going to affect, because that offense did not look good last week for the Titans. They should be better. I mean, Derrick Henry was like non-existent. So, I mean, honestly, if Derrick Henry turns it on and that offense turns it on again, then I think the Titans have a shot. But based on the way they played in week 1, I got to take the Seahawks.
Chiefs, Ravens, final game of pick 5. Chiefs versus Ravens.
Baltimore can't do nothing with Kansas City. I don't think they've beaten them since Patrick Mahomes got in the league, right?
No, but they haven't thrashed them either.
I'm still sticking with Patrick Mahomes.
I'm nervous about this one. I'm going with the Chiefs, but I'm nervous about this one. I feel like this might be the dark horse game for Lamar Jackson. I feel like this game is going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? This is the game that everybody's talking about, so this is a big one.
Quick question: do y'all see like a Peyton Tom Brady type rivalry between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes?
I see a rivalry with Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes still.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from with that.
I would like that very much.
I push back on that. For one reason. The only reason I push back on that is I don't think Lamar's that good. Ooh. I don't think Lamar Jackson is as good as people say he is or give him credit for. I don't know. Listen, I see flashes of it. I see flashes of greatness. He has great games, but he's still not a great decision. He's still not a great decision maker. He still puts himself at risk too many times, and he tries to get all over on the fact that he can run. I
don't agree with that. Lamar. I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with that. It's a difference between that being the offense being solely him, and he has to do certain things because they literally live or die with his success. Than him having the weapons necessary to make certain decisions where it's not only falling on him. So you say, like, if he had the help.
So if you put him on Kansas City, you think he'd be.
If he's on Kansas City, I don't see him running as much because he has the weapons to throw to.
He could throw to Trevor Kelsey every time because he's an option. He's an option out the backfield himself. So you gotta play spy with Lamar Jackson, just like you gotta play spy with Patrick Mahomes.
I think Lamar Jackson has a tougher route to success than Patrick Mahomes does, and I think that's probably why you're not seeing him on the same level. You get what I'm saying? I think that he always has to make a miracle happen, and he always has to play hero ball in a way that Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to at all.
Yeah, I think again. I think
throw the ball behind his back, and there's a receiver that's going to catch it.
I think the only receiver he has is Mark Andrews.
Exactly, and predominantly, whenever he's faced with that pressure, right, where he's on the ropes and he can't really get nothing off, which we saw in the Super Bowl. You saw what happened when he doesn't have that protection.
How successful would Lamar Jackson have been on those early Raven teams?
He would have been a dog because you also got to realize those early Ravens teams,
like with Shannon,
had the best defense outside of the '85 Bears, outside of the Steel Curtain Pittsburgh.
If you put him on like the early 2000s, the early to mid 2000s Ravens,
I think Dion and Ed Reed and Ray and the rest of them. And Shannon on the other side, yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Those are weapons. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't
That's
really
what I'm saying.
necessarily
I think
have the weapons.
I see. I just don't. And I agree with y'all. I think that's where I was probably. I should have been going with it, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it consistently out of Lamar because there's not nothing there, and I wonder just how he would be on another team. I'm picking Kansas City in this game mostly because I don't think I think Kansas City wants to erase the embarrassment of what last week looked like.
Absolutely.
You call it an embarrassment. I call it
them,
straight to regular.
I don't call it.
It's not an embarrassment. That's not an embarrassment. They play from behind
That's how they play.
all the time.
That's how they
are.
The Chiefs defense is suspect, and I've been saying this since last year. The Chiefs defense is super suspect. And
is it more suspect than the Buccaneers?
No. The
No.
Buccaneers.
Did you see the way?
The
Think about
Buccaneers
it.
has a
Against
top
that
defense
Dallas
in the league,
team?
but
Against that Dallas team.
against Dallas, they
Dallas
look bad.
That's what I'm
lost
saying.
that game more than
Dallas
the
That's
lost
what I'm
that game.
saying. It's a little suspect.
But you know
too.
what? The Dallas are that, like we always say, that's their night one is their Super Bowl. They always show up and show out. So the Bucks were playing the best version of the Cowboys that anybody's going to see this season.
But I also think where Kansas City also has a deficiency when you compare them to Tampa Bay is that offensive line. Tampa Bay understood that if they got Tom Brady, they had to get an offensive line that could protect Tom Brady so that he could throw the ball. Kansas City not only has a very leaky defense, but that offensive line is very leaky as well. And Patrick Mahomes is always having to do things, as you said, with Lamar Jackson. Pat is always going to have to play hero ball behind that offensive line as well.
Not as much as Lamar Jackson.
No, I know that, but he also had to play more hero ball than Brady does. Brady has a lot better of an offensive line than Patrick Mahomes does. Absolutely,
because if you look at the Dallas game, Tom Brady was in there for like 5-6 seconds sometimes. It was hard to sack Tom Brady. Like, it was super hard to sack. And it's not Tom like Brady. The man's gonna run. Right. Tom Brady's not gonna run away, he's just gonna take the sack.
Or slide to the ground.
Yes.
Right. So are we all taking Kansas City in that game?
Yes. Of course. I think we're all taking Kansas City in that game. So everybody picked the same except the
Titans Seahawks.
Seahawks. I'm the only one who picked the Titans. You guys picked the Seahawks. So again, let's see how this goes. And
Tay, how you think they're gonna fare against LA? I mean San Diego. No, LA, yeah, LA. I'm bugging.
Who's playing San Diego?
The Cowboys.
Oh yeah.
I think they're gonna be all right.
I'm sorry. I like Stafford. I like Stafford in LA. Stafford on that Rams team looks very good.
They always. I mean, let me tell you something. The Rams are always that team that no one talks about until like week 12.
Yeah, but now they got a quarterback. They had Jared Goff.
No, I was talking about the Chargers though. They play the Chargers.
I like Justin Herbert.
I think that the Cowboys are gonna win this one.
I like Herbert. That boy, the truth. Justin Herbert is somebody that not enough people are talking about as a dangerous quarterback in the NFL. Justin Herbert's a problem.
I think, and I think for Justin Herbert, it's only because he's always got to the point of you're about to win, and then they lose.
Right.
So, I think
what did we think of really quick? What did y'all think of Trevor Lawrence's first performance in the NFL?
We got a long way to go.
I blinked and missed it. I didn't even.
The Jags don't have a good offensive team, so he's going to be. He's definitely going to be stunted. I mean, by the lack of weapons.
Wilson played well in that loss. Wilson made some good decisions and played well. Zach Wilson played well for the Jets. Mac Jones played very good for the Patriots in that opening game. Trey Lance threw a touchdown pass for the 49ers in their opening week game. And I believe Justin Fields got some field time as well in the opening week for the Bears.
And Jordan Love did as well, which we're going to transition into right now, since we're going to talk about Matt's MVP as soon as he gets back on the camera. BK Matt's MVP, Aaron, against the Breezeless Saints. Now, I said this last week. The Saints team is virtually the same. You just don't have Drew Brees. You have Hill being able to have more of a bigger role. What is his name? That's Bridgewater? No, I'm sorry, not Bridgewater.
Crab Legs.
Mr. Crab Legs Winston, Mr. 30 for 30, went off 5 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Showed out.
You showed out. And here's the thing I was telling you about, like before. When Winston was on the Buccaneers, you can see the vast differences between Winston's Buccaneers and Brady's Buccaneers in terms of that offensive line.
But also the offensive weapons.
And the offensive weapons. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. Yes, not all of those interceptions are on him. Again, as I said this before last week, some of these interceptions should be given to receivers too. If you got your hand on it, you need to catch it. You need to catch it. But and we were talking about once upon a time about Eli Manning. Eli bomb sometimes, and it was hitting the receiver's hands and interceptions. It's the same thing. So whenever Mattis, you know what? Don't worry about it. We're going to talk about Matthew. Let's talk about the man.
Hold on, real quick, Drake. Can we just say, because you were talking about him, and I want to say this real quick. I got to give a lot of respect.
You always want to say something real quick. Go ahead.
A lot of respect to Jameis Winston for taking that back seat last year. He could have easily, said, no, I don't want to be a backup. I don't want to sit on the bench all year. I want to do this. He went to New Orleans.
Said that.
He
it was
went
Drew
to
Brees.
New Orleans.
You sit down, you shut the hell up. That's all you got to do.
No, he could have said, I don't want to be in that situation in New Orleans and gone somewhere else. He chose to go to New Orleans.
He hadn't proven anything.
But to do that, to sit behind Drew Brees and also know that all the rumors in the NFL were that other cat might have been the starting quarterback. For you to do that, sit there, learn the way that he learned, and then come and show out the way he did in week 1, I got a lot of respect for Jameis on that.
I'm going to think that Aaron Rodgers is sabotaging the Packers.
All right. First things first, I want to say I called the Jameis Winston thing. Play it back. I definitely called it. I said I'm not going to be surprised if he shows out this whole season. He's actually one of my picks for like being improved this year, and he did just that in that first game. But Aaron Rodgers, oh my God,
you just what, honey?
I don't even know. Like it was just damn.
I'm talking to Big Sis about it because I'm
watching the game and I'm just like, I fucking hate the fact that I'm gonna have to go on this show and hear this shit because I already know what was gonna happen between you two up there. I already knew what to expect, but am I worried about it's only week 1, so I'm not necessarily worried. I just hope it's not playing out like what you just said, like he's trying to self-sabotage. I'm hoping he's like, all right, this might be my last season. I want to show out. I don't know.
Show out.
I don't know what the hell happened. I really don't know what the hell happened.
3 points.
I don't. It got to the point I was just like, "Yo, fuck this game. I'm not watching." Oh boy, it was bad. It was bad.
Yo,
it was bad. But I got faith that Aaron Rodgers is going to be.
He talked a lot of nonsense. Let me just say, he put a lot of unnecessary attention to himself. He knew that eyes are going to be on that game, Matt. There is no reason why they got embarrassed like that.
Yeah, he was overthrowing passes and everything. I don't know what the hell is going on.
I think it's the ponytail.
I don't know.
I think it's the ponytail.
I don't know. Am I worried though? I'm not worried yet. I'm not worried yet.
They're gonna go 0 for 17. He's gonna take them.
I hope not. That would be bad. And then that would hurt. That would definitely hurt his legacy.
No, but, he has nothing to prove. I don't think he has anything to prove.
He don't have nothing to prove, but
I don't even feel like he has anything to prove to be MVP last year. I think Aaron Rodgers, he's a one-hitter quitter. He got his 1 ring, and now he can get the hell out of here.
I thought he had something to prove last year because they tried to play him, huh?
But he's still playing there.
Yeah, he is. I don't know.
You play me as a professional, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you think about Aaron Rodgers, even though he has only won one ring, you get what I'm saying? He has enough stock that he could have gone to almost any team he wanted to.
That if they allowed them.
Favre only won one.
Yeah, well, we're not talking about Brett Favre right now. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers.
But
Brett
same
Favre
thing, he
didn't
could
have-
have gone anywhere when he left.
Brett Hart. Brett Favre didn't go up and stop talking to his parents and stop talking to his parents, right? Made a whole big press conference and
Why do you keep bringing this up?
Because it bothers me for some reason. It's troubling to me that he don't speak to his parents. It's bothering me. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm a parent. But anyway, at the end of the day, he made all this fanfare about himself over these past couple years, leaking stories to the press about this Green Bay team. You get what I mean? And if you want to talk about Brett Favre went to the Minnesota Vikings. He left. And when he had a chance to leave, he left. Aaron Rodgers stayed. After all that, he stayed. Okay? He ended up looking worse because he stayed.
Especially because he made such a big stink about I'm not gonna stay.
Yeah.
And then for literally nothing. And Green Bay held their position as well. And so literally you got punked as Aaron Rodgers because you ended up saying, well, I'm coming back. Well, nothing changed. You said you weren't coming back if nothing changed. You still came back. So now you look like a fool.
To be honest, he didn't say that he wasn't coming back.
He did say he wasn't coming back.
He wasn't saying nothing. Everybody was speaking.
No, he said he wasn't coming back.
Show me that.
Pete, pull it up.
Pull it up.
But my thoughts on it is Aaron Rodgers got what he deserved. Aaron Rodgers got what he deserved.
You were such a hater, Dre. Like, you got to relax.
He got what he deserved.
How did he get what he deserved?
He got what he deserved.
You're right. MVP and all that money.
Yep. And
That's
then
he got what he deserved.
And then get smoked by almost 40 points.
By a Super Bowl contending team in the New Orleans Saints. What are you saying? What are you saying?
It's okay to get smoked by Super Bowl
contenders? It's not okay, but don't make it seem like
wasn't Aaron Rodgers' team Super Bowl contenders too?
They still are. Don't do that.
So you're saying
it's 1 week. It's 1 week. They got dominated by the Buccaneers in the early weeks of the season last year, and look at what happened. MVP. That's what happened.
LOST too in the playoffs.
Look, that was all Matt LaFleur's fault. That wasn't that. He took the ball out of his hand. He took the ball out of his hand and gave it to Tom Brady. Don't do that.
It's Big Matt's fault. It's Big Matt LaFleur's fault.
Yeah, he took the ball out of his hand. Who gives the ball back to freaking Tom Brady with come on, with time on the clock? That's just stupid.
But you're gonna say, all right, Aaron Rodgers being the MVP that he is, shouldn't have put them in a position.
Look,
I'm sorry, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Green Bay himself. There's audibles. There are audibles. You can call it audible.
They put him in. They put Tom Brady. They weren't playing well. They put the Buccaneers in the position to win. Now, if he was doing what he was supposed to do on the field, you know what I'm saying, and making points, they wouldn't have been in that position in the first place.
I know he plays God-worthy, football, but he ain't God. Don't do that.
Jesus.
That was Matt LaFleur's fault.
Jesus, Joseph, and Mary. Yes, I'm crazy.
God-worthy where?
Look, Dre, don't let the facts get in between the good stories. Shut up. Don't do
God-worthy where?
You just went on that whole rant and it made not a damn bit of sense.
It wasn't.
You better hope they win. You better hope they win this week. You better hope they win this week.
Nothing. Look, Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day. I don't like it.
Now, is that necessarily a good thing?
He won one ring.
So what? He still won one. A lot of quarterbacks don't win any. What you saying?
Absolutely, I agree with you on that. But
don't let the facts get in the way of the story.
Damn sure don't be winning MVPs.
There are a few MVPs that didn't win Super Bowls.
Right, he's an MVP and he has won Super Bowls.
Yeah. The NFC North is trash, Shaq.
Garbage juice. Now, since I have everybody here, Let's talk about what me and Matt kind of touched on last week. This Brooklyn Nets, LA Lakers situation, right? Where all these people are signing the AARP All-Stars, right?
Marcus Aldridge back to the Nets.
Marcus Aldridge
Y'all
back
think
to the
I'm
Nets.
joking about this, but the last quarterback that won a Super Bowl for the Jets is doing AARP commercials for real, and we making excuses for that, right?
This is true.
Okay, so keep the same energy.
I found it interesting how Kyrie blew up on that reporter recently. That report recently that said that
Won't play games today. Anyway, this is definitely true.
Yeah,
So
Kyrie blew up on that Twitter, that reporter on Twitter about that story.
Keith is a clown. Me and Keith was arguing about that yesterday.
Which one about
the Lakers? Nah, he was saying the Lakers are the 2022 champions. He thinks that they're gonna run roughshod through the West, like it's gonna be easy. And I'm like,
apparently there was a story on Twitter. An NBA insider reported on Twitter that he had heard from Kyrie Irving's camp, and other people had heard that if the Nets traded him, he would just retire. And Kyrie went on Twitter and blasted him like, "Yo, why you spreading lies? This, that, and the third." And he came clap right back at Kyrie's just like, first of all, if you have an issue with it, talk to your team, because you and I both know that I am not the only person they have said that to.
Ooh-wee. Kyrie.
Let me tell you something. I forgot about James though, because Pete kept rambling on about Kyrie. Like, I don't care about him.
The rumor's Kyrie for Ben Simmons.
Why?
There was a rumor of that because they want to get out from under Kyrie, and Ben Simmons needs a place to go. And honestly, if the boy don't have to shoot and just got to play point guard, he can actually be good.
he won't even be the point guard. And James Harden
Don't
won't
even have the ball in his hands.
Let me tell you something. People just automatically think it's going to be Brooklyn versus LA.
And Andre, I don't necessarily agree with that either. But go ahead, Ty.
I'm saying people automatically think it's going to be Brooklyn versus LA, and I feel like when you have the Golden State Warriors, you know what I'm saying, like
that's what I was telling Keith.
Rising, you know what I'm saying, on the freaking West, and you have the Milwaukee Bucks who won this year.
I want to excuse
you
me.
have a few other teams. You have a few other teams that are getting better. So let's just not make it seem like it's just this clear, route to the top. Everybody knows that will be like the dream and NBA playoff final situation. But I don't know, for some reason I feel like the Golden State Warriors have something to say about that.
As I said, the Lakers have the hardest road to the finals. They have the hardest road to the finals.
The Nets have a hard road to the finals too. Because let me tell you something: that team is super stacked, super old, super injury prone.
Injuries is the key word.
Right.
Injuries is the key point. Yeah, but what I'm saying is
you can't denounce the age of the roster. They're a win right now type of team, and those win right now type of teams kind of break down between the first and second round, like I said this year.
I mean, for me, if I'm looking in the East right now, the only teams I'm really afraid of is the Hawks, the Celtics, the
Miami.
Sixers, Miami, Miami and the Hawks, Milwaukee, Philly, New York, and Boston.
That's 5 teams. That's a lot to be afraid of.
Right. But
the Lakers have damn near the whole conference.
I think the Lakers, to be honest with you, the Lakers really have 3 teams on the path to there.
Dallas, Phoenix, Denver, Golden State.
Phoenix, and Golden State.
I think Denver too.
I don't think Denver.
Jamal Murray
will be back.
Okay.
So
and they still got Joker.
And they got Joker. What are you saying?
And Aaron Gordon. And that team showed that it was pretty good without Jamal Murray last year. Now you add Jamal Murray to that, I think they take another step.
Like I said, they have the Golden State Warriors, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Phoenix Suns. That's the path to the resistance on the West.
Like I said, I like the Phoenix Suns, but they got as far as they got because of injuries. We're not going to make it seem like a lot of those teams are slept on. Like Utah's no slouch. The Denver Nuggets is no slouch either.
I feel
You
like
gotta have the firepower.
The Phoenix Suns look like a younger version of the Brooklyn Nets to me.
My issue with Utah is they don't have the firepower offensively, and if their defense is not firing on all cylinders, it's going to be an issue. I think.
How is Donovan Mitchell in
I can't give you that. I can't give you that, like, Peter. You can't say firepower when they led the league in 3-point make percentage and makes. They had the firepower. They have the defense. They were injured. Their front court was hurt.
You tell me who you're
the backcourt was hurt. Sorry,
Michael Conley Jr. and Donovan Mitchell was hurt.
Besides Donovan Mitchell, who scares you offensively on Utah?
The shooter.
What's his name? Oh, Jesus.
I can't think of his name either.
Yeah, that shows how important.
No, because I'm getting hit. I'm getting hit on the spot. I can give you the name.
Joe Ingles,
real quick.
Not Joe Ingles. Not Joe.
Yeah,
don't do that to my. Don't do that to my man.
Joe Ingles can get hot. Don't make it seem like he can't.
Man is the key word in that sentence, sweetheart.
Bogdanovich.
What?
Yes, Bogdanovich. Yep. Bogdanovich could easily give you 20, 25.
So you're telling me if you take Donovan Mitchell out of the equation, you're telling me that a team of Joe Ingles, Ersan Isilova, Rudy Gobert, Rudy Gay, Mike Conley, and Bogdanovich scare you?
And Jordan Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson is easy.
Like how
20
you like
off
we're
the
like you really are sleeping on this Utah team. Like they weren't killing last year. They were running the Western Conference for the whole season,
and then they got hurt.
So, like, that's what I'm saying. Granted, Golden State deserves that respect.
Golden State should be actually at the top of the.
They
Golden State should actually be at the top of that.
But we're not going to make it seem like that Western Conference is a slouch.
Yeah, but we're not going to make it seem like the Eastern Conference. We're not going to make it seem like the Eastern Conference.
I'm not. I'm saying as far as scoring power,
definitely not.
I'm saying it's scoring power on the East. Not too many teams on that East is going to be able to outscore that Brooklyn Nets team. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you.
In the East,
I don't know about that, y'all. I don't know about that, y'all. The Brooklyn Nets are going to be the team that never was. I'm telling you right now.
If the Brooklyn Nets do not win the championship this year, it's wraps. Kyrie got to go. I say Kyrie has to go. I'm not saying Kyrie is the problem, but Kyrie is the most tradable piece right now because I'm not getting rid of James Harden.
I'll get rid of James Harden.
I hate to say
James Harden did average a triple-double.
I think the Warriors
triple doubled his ass off.
I think the Warriors need another weapon.
Hey,
because they got obviously you got Curry and Clay, but really behind that it's Looney, Porter Jr., Wiggins, and Wiseman. If they let Wiseman develop like he's supposed to, they can have another Giannis on their team who can.
I think
right now they're missing offense.
Yeah, he was hurt last year too.
A proven outside of Clay and Steph, I think offensively, there's just they're missing a proven weapon. I think Golden State's still going to be a great team. I think they're going to make the playoffs.
But this is the same team. This is the same team that won a championship with Harrison Barnes.
If they play the right basketball, which we know that they can, but with that three, they're a major threat. Because one thing that they do have under their belt is chemistry to a championship. They're a championship trio.
I think in the East, the issue is a lot of these teams, like Boston, like the Knicks, like Philly, can they play to the back of their basketball cards? If Embiid and Simmons are Embiid and Simmons, and the Philadelphia 76ers role players are who they're supposed to be, Philly can be dangerous. But we say that every year. If Tatum can play like Jason Tatum and the rest of the Celtics play like they're supposed to, they can be good. But
I no longer believe in the Boston Celtics.
Bro, at full strength, they're not beating that Brooklyn Nets team, bro.
Can they play to the back of their basketball card? Because on paper, the only teams on paper, Milwaukee and Atlanta, really bother me. In the East, Miami's gonna have to play like they're supposed to play because they played down last year. Philly played down.
He has help
until the playoffs. Boston played down.
That's what I was saying, Dre.
Yeah. Can I say something about Miami? I agree with you to a point. Jimmy Butler has to be more selfish.
He has help.
Yes, he has help.
That's what I'm saying.
He has help.
He has help
but even when
scoring
he
now.
didn't have help, but he did have help last year scoring. But he kept passing the ball. Shoot the ball,
Right.
Jimmy.
You said he has help scoring. Who on that team can take over scoring?
Bam.
Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson.
And now they got
Tyler
Kyle
Hero's
Lowry.
inconsistent, bro.
Yeah, but he can take over, right?
Well,
He
now
can
you
take
got
over.
Lowry and Oladipo. So
That's what I'm saying.
Butler
he
can
has
back
help.
up.
Oladipo was hurt.
Right,
I
but
get
now
what I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you
but
got
Jimmy Butler
Marquise.
has to take more shots.
Yeah,
And he has a dog. He has an even bigger, leading dog now with Lowry there.
He had
Because
Iguodala on the team.
Yeah, Iguodala is not the same Iguodala that was on the Golden State Warriors, bro. He's not
It was
that
the same
player.
exact guy. It was the same exact. Oh, the Warriors got Iguodala back.
Yep, he's back.
The Warriors got Iguodala back.
No, they did.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Iggy's
He's back
back.
in Golden State.
We talking about So when Tay was saying that, the Warriors are,
I think Iggy's trying to
at
chase
the top
that
of that chain. The Warriors are at the top of that chain right now.
Iggy's
So
chasing
then,
them rings.
I'm
So
sorry,
that
then they got a 4.
Yeah, Andre Iguodala back on the Golden State Warriors make the Golden State Warriors dangerous.
He went to Miami because he saw how good Miami was the year before bubble. And he was like, "Oh, they can run it. They're gonna run it back." And then
then everybody got hurt.
Yeah.
And then everybody got hurt.
I'm very interested to see how the Knicks develop this year.
I am too.
I am interested to see what the next step for the Knicks is because New York basketball, whether you're a Knicks fan, whether you're a Nets fan, whether you're just a casual fan who likes the star power that's on the Nets, whatever, New York basketball is going to be really good this year.
Yeah, they got Mitchell Robinson back.
Mitchell Robinson has to stay healthy.
And that's something that he got 60 pounds of muscle now.
And
his offensive game has to
more.
expand. His offensive game has to expand. He can shoot, but that's
Bro,
not going to be
putting your
required.
hope in Julius Randle, bro. That experiment failed miserably. Just
It
let
failed
go.
in the playoffs. It failed in the playoffs. But I don't think if they get back this year, Julius Randle will be the same person, scared of the lights.
And then you
Kemba
got
Walker
Kemba,
gotta stay healthy.
Kemba and Fournier. It's going to be very interesting to see how they gel with those veteran
consistent.
guards.
Mm-hmm.
I like Fournier. I liked him when he was with the Magic.
Dre, you gotta relax.
When he was with Orlando.
You gotta relax.
Kemba
You gotta relax.
Brooklyn versus New York Eastern Conference Finals.
I would love that. I would buy tickets. I would definitely buy tickets. All games.
Then $10,000 tickets.
I'll take it.
$10,000. Yo,
We got Frank Lucas Nice in our squad. We getting in there, ain't that right, Tay?
Right, we'll be in there.
yeah,
I want to
for
see
sure.
the evolution of RJ Barrett and Mitchell to see how they do is going to be interesting. But I really do want to see Kemba Walker actually hold up and do well.
Matt, before you go, I was just about to ask Queen, what are your thoughts on the Knicks team? Because you weren't critical of them you were kind of critical of them in the playoffs.
I'm a big Knicks fan. That's why I wasn't critical on them. I was just speaking facts.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I really didn't. I thought that they were going to win that Atlanta series, and the fact that they didn't win that Atlanta series was really heartbreaking for me because I stopped watching basketball for a while because of the Knicks' woes under Phil Jackson. But at the end of the day, I feel like the Knicks still have a long way to go. For some reason, I feel like they're even with the moves that they made during the offseason, I don't feel like they really made the right ones. You get what I'm saying? I feel like they have still not. I mean, their core team is really good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like they added things to kind of move the needle. I feel like what they did was they added pieces that kind of bolstered the type of the players that they've been playing. I think you're going to see a lot of the same. I think that you're going to see. I think Julius Randle is going to choke again.
Ooh.
Now it's all about this man right here. Right here. Trade the Bosch. Trade the Bosch.
Yeah.
He shot them out the gym. That whole Hawks team shot the Knicks out the gym.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can see the Hawks going against the Brooklyn Nets and giving them a problem. I can see them giving them a problem. And let me tell you something. And I keep saying this, and I keep that type of D'Antoni offense only takes you but so far.
He's not there no more.
I still feel like the team still reeks of it.
Yeah, that's Nash's
Steve
offense.
Nash.
So Nash
That's
is
Steve
going to run
Nash's
a very
offense.
D'Antoni-esque
Steve Nash's offense.
Yeah. I don't know what you mean. I know what.
My whole
Right.
thing, though, you
That's
know
what
what?
we were talking. That's what we say. That's why I was agreeing. Like that's Steve Nash's offense. That's the same thing.
It
as
looked like a
D'Antoni.
D'Antoni team. They really look like a D'Antoni team to me. And I feel like as if Brooklyn is not as good as and I keep saying it, and I will say it until if they win or not. They're going to the conference finals ain't enough for that team. It's still a disappointment, even if they go to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's still a disappointment.
They give me really big Cleveland vibes from those later years of Love and Irving and LeBron.
Not at all.
That team was older around LeBron, right? And it was just like, can LeBron can they carry them? They give me very big vibes of that because Aldridge is older, Kyrie is getting older, Durant is older and still coming off that injury, still kind of recovering from that and trying to get better and still trying to reach peak Kevin Durant. The role players around them are not. Again, my issue with the Nets has always been the bench. It's always been the role players because, as Tay said, Durant could get injured. Kyrie can get injured. Harden can get injured. Who's stepping up? Those role players are all gone.
Blake Griffin was the biggest step up during the playoffs last season.
And Bruce Brown.
No, nobody was talking about no damn Bruce Brown. Okay,
Bruce Brown defense stepped up.
I said.
Bruce Brown stepped up. I'm not gonna argue with you.
Because you was completely crapping all over this Blake Griffin thing, right? And he ended up being their saving grace.
I apologize for that. Why are we still bringing that up?
No, I'm just saying.
Don't bring up the past, Matt. Don't bring up the past.
No, I say that to say this.
Uh-huh.
It's that when you have a team that's so star heavy and your role players are not up to that caliber of playing the role that they're supposed to play, there's a big disconnect between that working in the season and that working in the playoffs when you're playing with other teams who have a little bit more balance when it comes to cohesiveness. You get what I'm saying? I feel like if the Brooklyn Nets win this year, that's the only way that team is going to be successful.
I do apologize. My reference was wrong. It was not the Cleveland team. I meant to say they give me the big Malone, Peyton, Lakers vibe, where you're getting a lot of the older players.
I agree with that 100%.
My reference was wrong.
I agree with that 100%. But the only difference is some of these guys on the team want a ring, so the passion ain't there.
Correct.
That's true. And that's what put the Lakers for me over the top of Brooklyn. Because if you look at the Lakers bench, Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench, Malik Monk coming off the bench, Kendrick Nunn coming off the bench, DJ and Dwight coming off the bench. You have
Carmelo is getting his ring this year. And I'm saying that now. He is getting his ring this year. The Lakers,
be mad at it.
I had to make a early season prediction, of how this is gonna go, I see it being Milwaukee versus the Lakers in the finals. I feel like the Lakers, not the Lakers, the Nets are gonna get knocked out in the Eastern Conference Finals. Even I think the semifinals. I don't
second round town. Second round town.
Second round town. I feel like Milwaukee's gonna take them out the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals. Because I don't know what Milwaukee team that was in the finals, but they never played before.
I don't know what Giannis we was looking at. That was a
That's
whole
definitely
different Giannis.
That's a whole different Giannis. I had never seen that. I never seen that man before in my life.
He still couldn't hold Kevin Durant.
And Kevin Durant couldn't hold him.
Nope.
It's all right, but and they almost lost without a Kyrie Irving.
But everybody knows. Almost doesn't count. Almost doesn't count.
I swear to God,
which is funny with the name of the episode.
I swear to God, you know what?
No,
go.
Matt, you have the final word. Tell it.
No, I'm good. It's cool. No. I'm gonna remember this episode. And then when the Nets win the championship,
episode 75, remember it.
When the Nets win this championship, I'm gonna play that. The Nets aren't good.
I never
Giannis
said they
is
weren't
gonna
good.
knock out the Nets.
I never said they weren't good. All right, since we want to, let's say I said what I said.
They
I
aren't
said that if
good.
they don't win,
You
this
said
is
they
going to
aren't
be
that
a
good.
bust. If they don't win the big dance, it's going to be a bust.
Because you did all this for what?
You did all this for nada.
Can we
You-
all agree with that though?
Yeah,
I
you.
feel, I,
Yeah,
I feel like
that's-
I feel like that's something
Matt said
all
that.
of us here should be able to agree with. The amount of money that the Nets are spending, keeping these
draft
three
picks?
on the and draft picks that they gave away, and with LeVert going, with Allen going,
Honestly, I
with
don't care about
Dinwiddie
draft
going, huh?
I don't really care about the draft.
I
picks.
hope this gets them to move away from the big three model.
But the Lakers got a big three model,
I feel like the Lakers are more stacked on the bench.
and
Alright.
Milwaukee has a
Way
big three
more
model.
stacked.
Who is the big
know what?
three in Milwaukee?
Yeah, please.
It's
Please,
Giannis
break
and
down.
friends. Giannis
Do we
and
like
friends.
do we like Middleton now? Did I miss the memo?
Middleton is the fucking reason that they even got that far. Y'all serious right now? Are we really gonna do this right now? Chris Middleton ain't the reason that they won.
No.
That they won the finals?
Chris Middleton is not the reason that they. Chris
they
Middleton's
won
even
the
the reason
finals?
they got out of the
They
whole
won the
series
final? That they won
or
the
the
final?
Brooklyn series. Chris
So
Middleton is the
time out.
reason they got out of those
Wait.
two series.
I have
Chris
a question
Middleton,
for
who
Matt.
we
Oh
kept,
my
Chris
God.
Middleton, who every episode of this show, every single one of us said that he disappeared. Every time.
Chris Middleton is the reason they even won Game 7 in
They
Brooklyn.
won that finals because of Giannis. They won that.
They got
finals
past
because of
Atlanta
Giannis.
and Brooklyn because of Chris
They
Middleton.
got past Brooklyn only because of injuries.
And
Question for
because
Matt.
Chris Middleton.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
Chris
He's
Middleton.
not consistent.
Chris
Matt,
Middleton
not
is
consistent.
one on, one off. He is
No.
one on, one
He's
off.
Matt,
one
here's
on
my
Don't
question.
say that he's not. Don't say that he's not the reason that they won Game
I'm not
7.
that's what I'm saying though. It was because of Giannis.
Matt,
And
here's my
Giannis wasn't
question.
even there for the last two games in the Atlantic series. And Chris Middleton and freaking Drew Holiday went off.
Right,
They
but,
had to
but we
win.
had this
Say
conversation. We also had this
All right,
conversation
so
at the
don't say
beginning of the
it's
Brooklyn
Giannis.
series.
No,
At the
Chris
beginning of the
Middleton,
Brooklyn
they
series,
got that far.
at the beginning of the Brooklyn series, we asked, "Yo, where is Chris Middleton?"
Yeah, we did.
Did
But
we
Matt,
not ask where
And
Chris
he
Middleton?
showed up. He's
No.
the
What, in
reason
game
they won
four?
that
In
series.
game 4?
He's the reason they won that series. It
He's not
came
the
down
reason they won
to
the
Game
series.
7.
here's where I'm gonna break your logic, Matt. Since when does a player, if we go by what you're saying, since when does a player being the reason that a team won a series or a game automatically put them in the conversation of being a big three caliber level player? Because
He's
we have seen
an
over the
all-star.
history
How
of the
you sitting there
NBA.
saying he's not a big three caliber player?
He's not big three caliber.
He's not.
Yes.
He
No,
could have
no.
very fine and well.
Their
could have
big three
fine
is
and well-
Giannis, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton.
That's not a big three.
That's
Right.
their big three. That's
That's
their
not a
big
big
three.
But I'm not a big three.
I'm
It's
not
their-
saying they're
No,
the
I
big.
get what Matt
That's
is
their
saying.
big three.
It's their big three, but we
Don't
don't
make it
consider
seem like Chris
as a
Middleton.
big
Chris
three.
Middleton is the reason they won that Game 7.
But Chris
Without
Middleton
that,
also.
without Chris Middleton
But he was
in
the- but the
overtime
thing
in the fourth
He's the
quarter,
reason. He's
Kevin
the
Durant
reason
would
why
have
it
sent
got
their asses
extended.
home with that
Hold
shot.
on.
Don't do that.
He's the reason why it got extended to a game 7 because he didn't play well at all. He came up
Don't
and
sit there.
exactly.
He played well in a good part of those.
He showed up in
he
game
showed up in a
4
lot of
and
those.
disappeared
Don't do that,
until
man.
game 7 because we kept saying every time, "Where's Chris Middleton? Where is he?" And he showed up in game 7. If he were playing,
It wasn't just Game 7. He showed up in that series, Tay.
in game
But
4.
I'm bringing up Game 7. He
In
showed
game
up in
4
Game
too.
5 and 6 too.
No, he didn't. That was the problem. He
All right.
didn't show up, and he's very inconsistent.
We
He's
just
not
gonna give all the praise to Giannis. That's what we're doing because Chris Middleton ain't do nothing. He didn't
Nobody
save him
said
at
Chris
all.
Middleton. Nobody said.
He-
I'm not saying Chris Middleton didn't do
I know
anything.
you're not saying that.
But I'm saying that-
asking the
that either.
conjugation.
I
So that's
said
what
what
we
I
said.
said though. I said
So you
what I
said-
said though.
So Chris
I said
Middleton
that
is not the
he's
reason they got out of that
I said
series.
what I said though.
Chris
I said
Middleton
that
is not the
he's
reason they got out that
inconsistent.
series.
Because he hit the shot, or because
No,
Because he
because
had-
Chris Middleton balled the fuck out in fourth quarter and overtime. He's the reason they won.
And
Giannis
So
did not
are we
show
talking
up.
about Game 7, or are we talking about the overall series?
I'm
Yeah.
talking about Game 7. The reason they
I'm
even
talking
got
about the
that
whole
far.
series.
So we're talking about the whole series.
That
We're talking
whole
about the whole
series.
series.
Giannis, yo, He showed up in parts of that series, but he's the reason they even got to the next series.
That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying.
You always do that. You move the goalpost every time.
What is the goalpost? I said Chris Middleton is the reason they got that far.
You watch who you talking to, because at the end of the day,
I know who I'm talking to. I'm saying what I'm saying.
Talking to me.
Chris Middleton is the reason they got to the next series.
You're not talking to me.
Chris Middleton is the reason they got to the next series. If he didn't show up in that fourth quarter, in that overtime, they were not beating Brooklyn. And then when Giannis got hurt,
at the end of the day,
Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday showed up in game 5 and 6,
if he would have played the way he's supposed to play, it wouldn't have had to go to a game series. He disappeared. Keep that same energy, because when
I am keeping the same energy, but we're not just going to glorify one person.
When the games were happening, you wasn't saying that. I said,
run it back. When they won that series, I said Chris Middleton saved their ass.
Let's run it back.
Run it back. I know what I said.
We'll look it up.
We'll look it up.
We'll definitely look it up. But we do have to wrap things up. Pete, I know you had an announcement. Pete? Yes, what is I have your announcement, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Is it safe to come out of hiding?
Pete, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was very happy with everything that happened, and I'm so proud of everything that came out of We Are Wrestling's first show, Want to Be Starting Something. Mm-hmm. And let's just say that the groundwork is being laid and things are being put into place. So please be on the lookout for an announcement December. # It Was All a Dream.
Love it. I love it. So,
wait, I missed that whole thing. What happened?
December. # It Was All a Dream for We Are Wrestling. Be on the lookout for it.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to the Jabba Tiz Network, 2.5 Bros, Zone Talk, Zone Sessions, the Jabba Tiz Podcast, Coffee Talk, us at the Yerrrr Sports Show, Tavius Tea Time, Brooklyn BS, everything. So, for BK Matt, for the voice of a generation, Pete Rosado, Pete is going into hiding. For the Queen, 25K. Tay, it is your boy, Big Baby, signing off. Peace.